All right, well, let's go ahead and get this started. The animated Disney movies tier list maker. It is 6 years old, but we're still going to use it, and I won't add anything on here. Let's see, what do we got? Mulan, S rank. Also, D is going to be like, never seen it. Never seen it. Never seen it. We're going to actually go ahead and go through the list really quick. Chicken Little, never seen it. Heard bad things from most people who watched it. Home on the Range, never seen it. What the hell? What does this say? Oh, Fun and Fancy Free. I don't think I've seen that either. If I have, it was forever ago and I forgot. Rescuers. Okay, Jungle Book. I'm just making sure. Great Mouse Detective. There's Zootopia. Fox and the Hound. Black Cauldron. Oh yeah, what was the other one that I said that I hadn't seen? It was this one, Ichabod. Yeah. Oh, I hadn't seen Brother Bear either. I think I know the plot of it, and it seemed like an okay movie, but I hadn't seen enough of it. Okay, look, full disclosure, people are gonna probably hate me for this. I have not seen Treasure Planet. I've heard really good things about Treasure Planet, but I personally have not seen Treasure Planet. Like, or if I did, it was ages ago. Like, I should probably put stuff, never seen it / don't remember. Because another thing I should put on there is, my gosh. Soundtrack is Phil Collins, so Brother Bear is S tier on. Oh, fair. Like Black Cauldron's also on that list because I remember seeing it, but I don't remember much about it except for the cauldron and the boyish and I don't know what the hell. There's something else on here. Atlantis is another one. These are probably movies I should add to movie night. Like, look at this. this is a lot of movies I haven't seen. Okay. Anyway, so let's get started. I think that's all the ones that I haven't seen or don't remember. So we'll go ahead. Mulan S tier. I mean, Mulan just very good. Good life lessons. Strong female lead character. Like, and it was nice because a lot of times that a female character is a lead, they still like have kind of like a crutch. You know, they're like, oh, I can't do that. And I mean, granted, like, she has her friends help her and all that, but there's never a point where it feels like she just has to, like, she's like, well, I can't do this because I'm a woman. And yeah, because there's a lot of times where it's just like, well, Mulan is your favorite Disney movie all the time. It's very good. It's excellent for sure. I have most of these on tape. You could do the heavy lifting for you. Oh no, I'd be down with that too. Like, honestly, like seeing, oh my God, that would be so nostalgic because you know what, Tide Pod, before we moved, well, when we were living in Texas, we had a case, like a big, like, you know, VHS, like shelf, or like, oh God, what would you, like a cabinet, there we go, VHS cabinet, like, you know, that had the built-in little slots to slide all your VHS tapes in there all nice and comfortably. We had one of those. Unfortunately, one summer, we stored it in the garage, and, you know, Texas summers are brutal. It ended up melting like 3/4 of the tapes. Like, it was so, and we had so many like Disney classics. We had like the Three Musketeers and like a bunch of other, like, you know, the Mickey Mouse and others, like adventures and shit. And it was just like, oh, this is ruined. Female character, she barely. Yeah, no, it's true. Like Pocahontas had, I think, a lot of potential, but it got kind of, there was too much of like the socio-political stuff, and it ended up just kind of being about everybody else, but she was there, you know, and she sang a song and she did some stuff, but it didn't feel like she got to do as much as she could. Okay. Wait. What, RC? Are you looking at the things that I haven't seen? Well, some of these I've forgotten. It's been years. But no, I've never, I think I've seen bits and pieces, but not the entire thing, for sure. Okay, so let's keep going. So S rank Mulan. We all know Mulan's very good. Excellent stuff. Aladdin. I mean, it's a lot of these classic ones are just going to go into S tier for me because they're very nostalgic. Aladdin was just very good. An adventure. He lied, reaped the karma for it, and then was better for it later. Yeah. Well, and then Dixie said that it had that the soundtrack is Phil Collins, so it's a music like probably Tarzan levels. Toy Story, original Toy Story, S rank. I would argue, I don't know if Toy Story 2 is on here. It doesn't look like it. I guess Toy Story is great. I would say Toy Story 2 is even better than the first one, and then 3 and 4 I would say are worse than the first one, but not like terrible films. But the second one was, it's kind of like Shrek. The first Shrek was good. I feel like Shrek 2 was just a much better film, and then they came out with a bunch more, and they were like, well, they're Shrek movies, so I mean, they're tongue-in-cheek humor, but they just didn't seem to hold up to the first and second. Weird older cartoons too. We could have some fun. Just got, no, DuckTales, nice. Okay, Meet the Robinsons. Honestly, I remember watching that, and I don't know if I'd put it up an S, but it's definitely a high A. Meet the Robinsons was a lot of fun with the evil bowler hat, and there was a lot going on, and the little arms joke, and yeah. Meet the Robinsons was good. I liked that one. Emperor's New Groove, also S rank. It's the Emperor's New Groove. I don't think I really need to extrapolate. It's the Emperor's New Groove. Little Mermaid, S rank. It's the Little Mermaid. I mean, she decides to do stuff on her own, bites her in the ass, but then she takes on the big bad lady and everybody's fine. And then if you play Kingdom Hearts 2, you get to sing all the songs with her. Hercules, also S rank. Very good. A nice like love story that wasn't like a very forced love story. It was him being dumb and her being like, I don't care about anybody, and then being like, oh, fuck, this guy is kind of hot and he doesn't, and I need to take care of him because he's dumb as shit. Goofy movie is the most underrated Disney movie. I don't even think that's on here, sadly. And a Goofy movie's good. I think all of the Goofy movies are actually quite good. I feel like the first one's probably the best, but the subsequent ones are still like, I mean, they do a really good job, you know? Okay, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, also S rank, even if creepy man sings about wanting to have sex with the girl and it's her fault. Good representation of the evils of the church. S rank. Oh, no, it's super dark. It is, you know, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, it's really not a kid's movie. There's so much that goes on in there that you're like, oh, this is all bad. But, you know, they're singing and dancing and everybody's fine. It was fine. Tarzan, also S rank. Very good. Like 3 days ago, I took it out of the kids. Oh, so do you usually kind of curate stuff like that, Tide Pod? Like, will you generally kind of skim through stuff and check stuff out before you filter it down to the kids? Because I know some Disney movies are, like, even Tarzan's got some pretty dark stuff in it. Like, the whole fact that Clayton, he kills himself. Like, he goes, like, kind of nuts and ends up hanging himself, you know? And you're just like, ooh. And they don't show it. They show the silhouette, but you're still like, oh, that happened. Like, oh my God. It's kind of like the Pokemon movies we watched recently. Okay, here we go. My very first C, Frozen. I'm sorry. Frozen was, it just, like, I'm sure a lot of people think it's a masterpiece and they really like to sing Let It Go. And I really dislike the movie because it's funny because people are like, it departed so much from like the original formula. But the problem is it leaned into the original formula of boy meets girl and falls in love and let's get married tomorrow, and then all this other stuff happened and Elsa really didn't do anything wrong, but everybody blames her anyway. And then Olaf, I gotta say, I hated Olaf in the first one. Like, the thing is, people are like, but he was basically just born, so that's why he's acting that way. And I'm like, I don't care. Kill him. Get rid of him. Yeah, the black. We need to watch that too because I have it at the bottom. I'm pretty sure I watched it when I was very young, Dixies, but I don't remember enough to really put it on the list. I would assume Black Cauldron is probably like an A at the very least. Like, I've heard good things about it, but since I personally don't remember much about it, I don't want to be like, yeah. Okay, Beauty and the Beast. I mean, it's like, honestly, you look at this list, all of the classics are going to be on here because those are the really good movies. Those are the good movies. And then after, like, okay, here, we'll jump around a little bit. Like, Princess and the Frog, I would still say that's S rank. I would say Princess and the Frog is probably about the time that Disney really started to kind of, like, they were already just kind of like staying steady, but I'd say that's where they started to drop off a little bit. Honestly, when they changed from like traditional animation to a lot more CGI, it felt like things started to have a lot less passion than they did before, you know? But Princess and the Frog was still quite good. I liked that one quite a bit, like when I finally watched it. Tarzan kills a baby in the first 5 minutes. Wait, what? What? What are you talking about? Tarzan doesn't kill a baby? He's got a really crazy version of Beauty and the Beast. It's on a 3-story VHS. That includes the 3 Musketeers? What? Cartoon what? Are there certain conversations you want to wait for? No. Understandable. And honestly, Tide Pod, there are actually a lot of like sexual themes in the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Like, they're not like overt, but they're still, well, aside from the song of the dude saying he wants to fuck Esmeralda. That's definitely like 100% like, that guy wants to bone this chick and he's singing about it. But there's a lot of other stuff that's just like, oh yeah, this is probably not maybe not. Okay, Pocahontas. I'm sorry, but Pocahontas, I'm not going to put it in C, but it's going to go in B because honestly, like as much as we like Colors of the Wind and all that stuff in there, unfortunately Pocahontas suffers from the fact that there was just too much like other stuff going on focused not on her that she couldn't really do much about. And so she kind of had to lean on other people a lot more than I feel that she should have had to. Granted, I think that real life Pocahontas like died. So, you know, there's that at least. They changed that. But yeah. Burns out the peasant family's home after locking them inside. Oh yeah, that's true. Oh, Oliver's Company. I've seen it, but it's been, look, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to put Oliver and Company into don't remember. I feel like it's probably an A. I remember I remember the dog and the girl and the cat, and I remember some stuff, but yeah, I'm just like, I feel like it's probably an A. But I'm also like, I can't extrapolate that from like the brain fog that I'm dealing with, like when I try to think about it. But yeah, no, like, and the funny thing is, like, all the movies I put down here and never seen it or don't remember, pretty much all of them are great movies. I've heard bad things about Chicken Little. Don't know about Home on the Range at all. I zero about that. Or the Fancy Free, Fun and Fancy Free. This feels like it's a bunch of shorts, probably. It looks like he's like holding the beanstalk, so maybe it's like a bunch of fables. Fantasia, you know what? People might hate me for this. I'm gonna put Fantasia in A because Fantasia didn't really feel like, it wasn't really like a movie with a plot. It was more like an experiment, like a musical and visual experiment. And granted, it was really well done, but I can't really justify putting it up with like the plot movies, you know? If that makes any sense. Like Fantasia kind of feels like it should be on its own list, you know? You give it that for the vision. Yeah, no. I gotcha. It's just like for me personally, like thinking about like the different factors of what would make this list up, I'm just like, I feel like, I don't know. I mean, it's definitely very good. Like it does what it sets out to do. It's just like as a movie, I'm like, it's more like a musical, really. I don't know. And Fantasia 2000. Wait, I was about to say, are Fantasia and Fantasia? Okay, they're both. Is this Fantasia 2000? It is. Okay, well, both Fantasias can go there. But Fantasia 2000, did it add more shit too? Or was it just kind of like they updated the visuals? I can't even remember. I'm pretty sure I'd seen both. Most of what I remember from Fantasia is the brooms and the big demon man. And I think a nymph garden. There was like a nymph garden somewhere? Oh, it was a whole different set. Oh, I guess we'll have to watch both of those and like compare that as well. Got it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think because I'm pretty sure I saw both. But I can't like separate the two in my head. Okay, Fox and the Hound. Fox and the Hound gave people depression. So A, very good film, but my God, so sad. It's so sad. Either way, I think it's fantastic, but it doesn't feel like Disney. Yeah, no, it feels more like just straight Pixar. Because, you know, Pixar and Disney have like a different kind of, like, it doesn't feel like it now because they're so like intricately connected, but they had like a different flavor back then. It was kind of nice. Like, it was nice when companies like worked with other companies and they still had the same, you keep thinking it's DreamWorks? Yeah. But they had like this, like a different flavor and it was nice. And then you get stuff now that's just kind of samey. Okay, Zootopia, I'd say that's an A. Zootopia was pretty good overall. It was nice because it was like, oh, the real bad guy wasn't the carnivore. It was actually one of the other ones. Wasn't it like a sheep guy or something? Which kind of makes sense. Fuck those sheep. But I'd say it was quite good. Even if it made a lot of people furries. I mean, that's fine. Okay, and then this is this the Aristocats? You know what? I'd say Aristocats is S because that was still in the era where I feel like the music was one of the biggest draws of the films. Like a lot of the older ones, I mean, the visuals were still quite good, but they definitely like they experimented, I feel like, a lot with stuff, or they went a lot with stuff of the era. Like I feel like there was a lot of like big band type music in Aristocats because of, you know, the setting and everything. Okay, The Rescuers Down Under, very good. Giant iguana tries to eat egg. Albatross, The Childs, tiny mice helping people. Great Mouse Detective. Like, if there was like an SS rank, I'd honestly probably put The Great Mouse Detective up there. I fucking love that movie. I actually have that movie on a DVD like behind me. It's very, very. You know what makes me sad? Actually, I just realized it. The DuckTales movie isn't on here. You know, the one with the genie? That's a really good movie too. Why is it not on here? I think that's a classic. Why would you not put it in here? Oh, man. Okay, Sleeping Beauty. You know what? Honestly, Sleeping Beauty is good, but it was like so long ago that I feel like I don't know if it has aged like quite as well as the rest. Like Beauty and the Beast and all that was still in a new enough era. I mean, it's still a good movie. I'm still gonna put it in A. But yeah, it was definitely more about like the visuals and the sounds and things like that. And I think they were experimenting with some stuff in it too. The Sleeping Beauty is still good, but you have all the Meet the Robinsons. They have trading cards. I would love to see those Dixies. You don't know? Oh, look, The Great Mouse Detective. If you can like find it somewhere, watch that shit. It's good. It's very good. Just be careful. If you're not a fan of rats, there is some slightly scary stuff towards the end because one of the main antagonist is a big rat man. But yeah. Robin Hood, S. That was another awakening for a lot of people. Cool, suave fox man, hot fox lady, the bears, other animals if you're into that. Okay, Jungle Book, also S. Blue, just like very good. That was the start of like so many other things. Oh man. I mean, you know what? You could argue the plot of the Jungle Book. There's not a lot, but I mean, holy crap. The King Louis song, like that's just a classic. There's just so many like good moments in that movie leading up to the end, you know? Just so many hijinks and things happening. Okay, and The Rescuers, also S, because The Rescuers and The Rescuers Down Under are both very good. Sword in the Stone, also S. Child becomes adult and learns stuff. Also, Merlin is like a kind of fumbly, long-bearded wizard man and gets a plane stuck in his beard. Just a lot of good stuff. We could do a Rescuers double feature. Yeah, well, because it's only those two, right? It's just the Rescuers, and I can't remember if there were 3 of them. I don't know why, but I always just, because I know there's the Rescuers and Rescuers Down Under. That's all I can think of. Maybe I'm thinking of like Fievel, because there's Fievel Goes West. Is there another Fievel movie? Because there's Fievel and American Tail, and then Fievel Goes West. Yeah, it gets, there's so many. So is that the, yeah, that is, he turns into a squirrel, and then a lady squirrel falls in love with him, but he's like, sorry, I'm a boy, and it's just so sad because the lady squirrel gets like really, really depressed. And it's just like, oh no, I feel bad for that lady squirrel. I mean, I know she was down bad for some kid, but sad. Okay, Snow White. I would also put Snow White in A next to Sleeping Beauty because I think they were the same era. Like, they were kind of the start of things. Well, no, okay. God, it's so weird to think how long ago some of these movies came out. Like, I know Dumbo, I think, and Pinocchio are, like, the oldest. And then Snow White and Sleeping Beauty are, like, up there as well. God, it's... Like, it's... Yeah, there's so many movies that came out. It's just like, dang. It's hard to keep up. Okay, 101 Dalmatians. That's a lot of dogs. Very good. Cruella de Vil is mean, but they do stuff and they win. Hell yeah. I like how Frozen 2 is not on here. So everybody's going to think that I just hate Frozen. And I'm like, I don't hate it. Just not a fan. Like, not something that I'd want to watch multiple times. Unfortunately, my sister had to because her daughter is very much into Frozen. Or Frozen 2, especially. I think she watched that like 50 times. Okay, Wreck-It Ralph. Actually, very good. Wreck-It Ralph is S. I would say that the second Wreck-It Ralph movie would probably be like a solid A or B. Like, I don't know. I feel like they went a little bit too off the rails with it, which I guess that's kind of what that movie was all about, honestly. But, you know, sometimes just a little much. My sister just asked me if I was at home, and I was like, yeah, I'm at home. Oh. Nope. I feel like Frozen and Pocahontas are elevated by the music. I mean, this is fair. I will say, Let It Go, like, while it's a good song, it was so overplayed that I just got so tired of it. And I was like, and I already was like, about the movie, but hearing that over and over, I was like, no, I hate this now. I'm just not, I can't deal with this. Winnie the Pooh, S rank. Winnie the, like, any, like, even the Winnie the Pooh, like, shows, the Winnie the Pooh movies, like, there was just something, like, very warm and familiar about it. Like, just, like, you know, they had issues, but they always resolved them, and nobody really like hated each other, and it was just everything about it just felt very like gentle. So managed to avoid hearing the song "Let It Go" in entirety for years after the. Oh well, I'm glad. That is a lucky break for you, for sure. My kids call it Pooey the Pooh. Oh no. Okay, Lady and the Tramp. Also S. Very good. 2 dogs fall in love over a plate of spaghetti. Other things happen. They try to capture her. They work with the other dogs. Very good. Cinderella. You know what? Cinderella is one of the first like older ones that I'd put in S, because I think because it's based obviously off of the fable and everything like that, but it's done very well. Like everything, like the fantastical aspects are just as like crazy as you think. These mice turn into coachmen, and they turn a pumpkin into a carriage, and then she loses a shoe, and the prince has a slight foot fetish. I mean, it's got everything for everybody. You go spaghetti. Oh, I have spaghetti. I could make spaghetti tonight. Okay, Pinocchio. Pinocchio is a B. Pinocchio is a B because Pinocchio is a fucking like fever dream. Like, there are very few parts I think about in Pinocchio that aren't like a drug-fueled nightmare, Aside from him just like talking with Geppetto or doing other, like, there's so much like weird stuff in that movie. And I feel like it was very experimental as well, but it was just like, holy crap, like it's hard to pay attention when there's just like, yeah, no, it's crazy. That's just crazy. I was just like, what is happening, and the kids, and he wants to be a real boy, and the other kids are like dicks, and I'd have to watch it again just to like get my thoughts completely together on it. But I'd say it's definitely, even if I watch it again, I'd say a solid B, which still isn't, like I said, it's not bad. It just, like, C is probably the line where I'd be like, I didn't really like it. B is still like, I liked it, but there are things that I think could be better about it, or there was just like too much going on, Bambi, I'd say Bambi is an A. Bambi also gave kids depression. But Bambi, yeah, is definitely a classic for sure. Parental death, all that. Bambi's basically just on their way to becoming a Pokemon master, if you think about it. Okay. Oh, next, Peter Pan. Peter Pan, honestly, I'd put it in S, purely because, like, there's just so many good characters in Peter Pan, and, like, I don't know what Disney's Hook is just, like, probably the most iconic, like, version of Hook. There's just something about him that works really well. And it's just there's so much going for it. There's a lot of fantastical stuff. Hook is very good at being a mean pirate man who doesn't like alligators. Shmi is very bumbly. It's very good. Peter Pan is definitely a classic. Like, good stuff. Hook and the animated are both mad. Yeah. Oh God, I love Hook. I love Hook so much. And like, because Robin Williams, like, he was so good at like pretty much any like comedic role or even like semi-serious role that he was in. And like Hook was just a masterpiece of like set pieces and costuming and other things, and them experimenting with like, making Tinkerbell and everything, and it was very good. Like, Hook is probably one of my favorite movies still. Like, it's just so good. Okay, Dumbo. I would actually rate Dumbo an A still, above Pinocchio, because even though a lot of weird shit happens in Dumbo, it feels like there's less weird shit. And at the end of the day, it's still like fairly feel good because, he learns to fly and everybody loves him, or he does all that. And, yeah, Julia Roberts as Tink. Yeah, very, very good. Okay. Then Alice in Wonderland. Oh my gosh. I don't know. I think I don't want to say S is getting too clogged up because you can love like a lot of movies, but Alice in Wonderland was also like a fever dream. Granted, you know what? I'll put it in S because Alice in Wonderland was always a fever dream, because if I remember right, the guy who wrote it was high as fuck when he wrote most of it. So it was kind of just the source material, like the smoking caterpillar and just so much, the oysters and the walrus, and there's just a lot of stuff going on in there, but it was all very loyal to the source material, So Alice in Wonderland, yeah. drug-fueled classic. Even if you haven't done drugs, if you watch Alice in Wonderland, you might as well have done drugs. The weird Alice in Wonderland with Martin short was incredible. I don't know if I'd see that, actually. Okay. Next, Big Hero 6. Big Hero 6 was good, but it felt a little generic. Like it was quite good, but it, you know, I don't know. Maybe because there was a lot of other like superhero type stuff out. It didn't feel, I don't know. Like it was definitely fresh compared to most Disney stuff. I mean, there wasn't Princess. It was very high tech. There was a lot of other stuff going on. It did indeed maintain the shroom vibes exactly. But Big Hero 6 was a solid movie, and there were some very like touching moments, other stuff going on. CGI was quite good. Yeah. Oh, it's live action? Holy crap. But yeah, Big Hero 6, solid A. Like A+. Not quite S to me, but still good. Tangled, S tier. I really, really liked that rendition of Rapunzel. It was just very good. And I think it was what a lot of people were looking for in like a female protagonist, because like very soft, very nice girl, but like took shit from nobody. Very good. Like just all around a nice movie, good cast. Like I really liked the bar full of like the rogues and thieves actually being like really chill dudes once you got to know them. Just stuff like that. Very good. Lion King. S. I mean, why wouldn't it be S? It's S. Lion King is S. If they had the live action Lion King on here, I'd put it down at the bottom. Or maybe lower, because there was no point in that being made at all. There's really no point. Like, if you have an animated version of something, there is almost zero reason to make a live action version, because so much is lost on the live action version. Because, I don't know, did you know that real lions and animals don't talk or emote in the way that people do? And that's fine. That's why we have cartoons, so they can do that stuff and have exaggerated expressions and other things. You don't take that movie and then turn it into a soulless husk because you're like, well, you know, real lions don't do that. And we're like, we know. That's why it's a cartoon. We're fine with it. So yeah. Anyway, end rant. Bolt. I'd say Bolt was a A. That was a nice little story of like, dog getting new owner. If I remember right, he gets like lost and then he finds stuff and helps out people. I don't know. You know, it's funny. I probably should put that in the don't remember, but I remember liking the movie. I thought it was a good movie. I just don't remember all of the reasons that I like it. The live action was crazy. So yeah, well, live action. Oh God, I can imagine, or I can't imagine how crazy it might be. Okay, Lilo and Stitch, also S rank. The series and other offshoots of it, I don't know, not so much, but it was just very good. Stitch was absolutely insane, and actually so was Lilo. Just very good stuff. Hi V, how are you doing? Thank you for the birthday wishes. We're ranking Disney movies. As you can see, the S rank column is very, very full. Frozen is solidly in C. There's a bunch of stuff at the bottom that I haven't seen or saw 30 years ago, so I don't remember. Pocahontas and Pinocchio are in B. Good Try Award. Quite a few things at A, but yeah, S, you can tell S is like all of like the classics. Honestly, if they had like the Toy Story sequels, they'd be in different rankings, but yeah. Emperor's New Groove is actually, it's the fourth one right here, and it's solidly an S. Don't worry. It's one of the first ones I put in S. Okay. And then Moana? That's kind of a tough one, because I liked Moana, and I think the message was quite good too, and the animation was good, I guess. Like, I enjoyed it. I'm just like, is it truly an S though, or would it be more of an A? Moana was B for you? Oh, wow. Really? Explain, Tide Pod. What was the problem with it to you specifically? Because I don't know if I want to put it in B with Pocahontas and Pinocchio. Whoops. Or in C. Oh, God, don't put it up. It's just kind of mid. Yeah. I mean, I'll still put it in. It's probably like a low A. but I still enjoyed it. I thought it was kind of refreshing, and it was nice of them using some of like the folklore and stuff from the islands and everything like that. Very interesting to go with that. There were a lot of times where there wasn't really a lot happening. And some like weird comedic timings, but is this just Disney? Oh no, Disney Pixar, because Toy Story's up here. Like I was telling people, if Toy Story 2 is here, I'd probably put originally Toy Story in A, and then Toy Story 2 in S, and then I'd probably put 3 and 4 in like B. Like they were good movies, like, but they just weren't as good, I'd say. But also this list is up. It was updated in 2018, so I think a lot of it. These are no, and I mean I'm trying not to go too much off of nostalgia, but it's hard not to, like, when your childhood was like Beauty and the Beast and Tarzan, Little Mermaid, all that stuff. Like, but nah, this is my list. Which is I don't know. I think that's a fairly good list. Like a lot of these classics they're very good. Some might not have aged quite as well as you'd expect, but Monsters Inc. isn't on here. I don't know why, because that was like a lot. Yeah, it is strange. Monsters Inc. would be S though. Any of the subsequent things on it, I'd probably put below. I think the original was the best, obviously, but oh god, there probably is. I'd have to look that up. But yeah, no, this is the Disney movie tier list, at least the Disney movies that they have on here. So